Yo, you curious about these tables that are holding up my heat press or where I cut my transfers or this cutting mat right here? Let's talk about it. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Big Brandoh, and today we're going to be talking all about the random things you see in my shop that you always ask questions about, and I'm going to give you what those things are and why I chose to use these. Now, let's start off with this cutting mat right here. This cutting mat is a self-healing cutting mat. You can buy these everywhere. This one's made by XTool. The size of this one, I think, is about 36 inches by 23 inches. The reason I got this size is because I like to cut down my transfers with this using a rotary blade. This rotary blade is made for material like cutting fabric and stuff like that. I use it to cut down transfers. So I put the transfers on top of this self-healing cutting mat, and then I just start cutting away. I don't want to cut directly onto this wood surface because I'm going to start chipping into the wood. So I use a cutting mat. You can buy these on Amazon, Michaels, Hobby Lobby, Walmart. They got them everywhere. It's called a cutting mat or a self-healing cutting mat. They come in different colors. You don't have to get this same gray and blue one. They come in green and black. You don't even have to buy the one from XTool. You can buy whatever one you want in whatever size makes sense to you. Same exact thing goes with this rotary blade right here. It's like a pizza slicer. This helps me cut my transfers down. You guys seen me use it all the time on Instagram and TikTok. You don't have to buy this same exact brand made by Fiskars. You can use whatever one you want, whatever one fits your budget. You could buy these on Amazon or Hobby Lobby. If you just looked up transfer cutting tool, this probably won't pop up because this is made for material. It's made for fabric. I use it for cutting down transfers. Same exact thing with this cutting mat. If you just looked up transfer cutting mat, it's not going to pop up. But if you just looked up a regular cutting mat, this is made for all types of different things. I like this grid because it has a ruler on here and it makes my life easier when I'm trying to measure things up and cut things down. Next up is this. You guys see this all the time, and this is a safety ruler. You basically put your hand on this side, use the blade on this side, and this little rail right here will stop whatever you're using to cut with. X-Acto knife, rotary blade, razor blades, utility knife, whatever you use to cut down transfers or cut down anything. This is going to save your fingers right here. This is called a safety ruler. You could buy this on Amazon and Michaels and Hobby Lobby or any art store for that matter. This one measures to 24 inches. Why did I get one that measures 24 inches? A lot of DTF gang rolls come in 22 inches. So having one that was 24 inches makes sense. Also, my table is 24 inches. So if I'm cutting something the length of the table, I wanted a ruler that fits the length of the table. So this is a safety ruler. This is a rotary blade. One of the other things people always talk about is this little utility knife right here. It basically just goes up and down. But also, whenever one gets dull, you just crack off a little piece of it. I don't know if you could see that really, but it's like notched. Let me come around and show you this. There's like little notches in there. So when it gets dull, you just crack off a slice and then go to the next one. It's like that all the way down. So these little knives you could buy on Amazon for really cheap also. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm pretty much a cheapskate when it comes to this stuff. I like buying nice things, but at the same exact time, I don't like wasting money on a bunch of nonsense. Which brings me to these tables right here. These tables are not cheap. They're very expensive. And if you're looking for a heat press table, I recommend these because they're adjustable. The reason I like them to be adjustable is because I don't like pressing too low. I have a lot of different people in my shop that work here that are all different sizes. So I like to keep it within the middle of everybody being comfortable to actually use. These tables are raised up a little bit higher so we can fold. Standard tables are a little bit lower down here and my back would start to hurt. So I could stand upright, my hands land on this table, I could fold stuff, I could cut stuff, it just works. Same goes with the heat press table. It should drop down a little lower, but everybody in my shop can reach this thing right here, press with it. These tables measure 6 foot by 2 feet. They fit my heat presses perfectly. Having a 2 foot deep table fits my heat presses perfectly. Signature Pro, True Spec cap press, True Spec heat press, 16 by 20 Signature Series, Geonite cap press, Ricoma 15 by 15 auto. All of these heat presses are on this same style of table. This table, when you look it up, is called a workbench. So if you go to Sam's Club, if you go to Costco, if you go to Lowe's, you go to Home Depot, you probably can get it on Amazon also. All you have to look up is 6-foot adjustable workbench. Some sort of rendition will pop up. These are made by Ultra HD. These were purchased from Sam's Club. I think 2 of these, that's an Ultra HD. That one is, the one by the embroidery machine is Lifetime, I believe it's made by. This one also is Ultra HD. But this is where you could buy them from. Sam's Club, Costco, Home Depot, Lowe's. These are made for garages, but I use them for my heat press and work tables because I want a sturdy table that can hold up heat presses, but also be adjustable, if that makes any sense to you. Now, this little grid wall in the back, this is something people ask about all the time. It's just called a grid wall or grid display. It's the same size, 2 feet by 6 feet. I have them hanging up here by some hooks that are anchored to the wall. They're holding up all this vinyl right here. I don't even know if the camera's picking that up, but you see it in the back of my videos. We got some hat racks on this one. It's called a grid wall, grid display. You can buy these also on Amazon. Or if you're local to Los Angeles, you could buy them in downtown LA. Why do I say buy them in downtown LA? So you don't have to pay for shipping. You can just go down to the store and buy however many you want. They come with little legs, so you could just position them on the ground, but we hang them up here. We also use them when we go to vend out at shows. If I'm at a festival, if I'm at a night market, I hang these things with zip ties from my little 10 by 10 tent, and we hang t-shirts off of them. We use it for display. It's pretty self-explanatory. People don't know what they're called, but they're called grid walls or grid displays. I highly recommend getting the light ones, like light in weight, because if you're traveling with them, like if you're not just putting them up on the wall, but if you're actually using them at festivals and events, you want the lighter ones because you got to lug them around. Now, next up is the t-shirt folder. This folder right here can be purchased on Heat Press Nation. It's linked for you already. It's been linked for you for the longest time. It only costs $20, but this is what you see me fold all of my t-shirts with. Some people refer to it as the Big Bang Theory thing because I guess the guy in Big Bang Theory uses it to fold t-shirts. It's been around for a very long time. Do you need one? No, you do not. But is it helpful? Yes, it is. And if you are gonna buy one and you're not gonna buy one from wherever I say to buy one from and you just wanna go out and get it on your own, make sure you get one that has full solid walls. The side walls should be solid. When I say solid, just one piece. A lot of companies on Amazon or Temu, they sell them with this part right here is cut in half, where it's like hinged like this middle part, because they do that for shipping. So you want it with the solid walls because it makes it a lot more easier to flip around and fold shirts when these walls, the side ones, are one solid piece. So you could just be like boom, boom, boom. When you have the other one that's like this is one of those Amazon ones that doesn't have the solid walls. So you see these all bend up. They do that just for shipping. So when you're trying to fold a t-shirt, all these parts move. So your t-shirt becomes all lopsided when you're folding it if you're trying to fold for speed. So these ones, I don't recommend. The ones that all the pieces move, like I said, this is a shipping thing. They can fold this down like this and ship it in a smaller box than shipping this one right here. That's why they do that. So if you're buying one, buy one that has the solid walls. Now, if you're new here, you've probably never seen me ship anything out. If you watch my short form content, you'll see me ship out stuff every week. I use clear poly bags to put the t-shirts in. My t-shirt folder folds everything down to 9 by 12. The clear bags that I use are 9 by 12 because they fit perfectly into these 9 by 12 bags. My t-shirt folder folds my shirts to 9 by 12. I use 9 by 12 bags to put them in. Do you need to use these clear poly bags? No, you do not. I do this for the customer experience, meaning when the customer receives the shirt, they feel like they're getting a brand new t-shirt right out the packaging. I love getting t-shirts that are still in the plastic packaging. It makes me feel like nobody's ever touched it. No customers have tried it on. It's just a better feeling as a customer. So that's why I do that. I also use it to hold stickers. I throw free stickers into every single t-shirt I ship out. So my folder folds to 9 by 12. My bags, 9 by 12. My poly mailers are 12 by 15. These fit in here, no problem. Just like so. I could fit about 4 to 5 t-shirts in one of these 12 by 15s that's folded down to 9 by 12. That's why I choose this size. I don't buy 9 by 12 poly mailers that'll just fit one t-shirt. In case customers order 3 or 4 t-shirts, I have a poly mailer that'll fit that. It'll fit 1 up to 4, and it got me covered. 12 by 15 is the size that I choose to use. You can buy both of these bags on Amazon. It's that easy. Just type in clear poly bag, 9 by 12, or whatever size you want. Speaking of that, before you buy bags, before you buy these, use your t-shirt folder. Take your ruler and you measure what's the finished size. This one, 9 by 12. This is a 9 by 12 folded t-shirt. So my bags are 9 by 12 bags. Just because I use 9 by 12 bags doesn't mean you have to. Before you order bags, fold a t-shirt down. Don't try to fold it to 9 by 12. Use your t-shirt folder, fold it by hand, use cardboard, whatever you have to do to fold it down on however you think you're gonna ship it out, and then measure that t-shirt. Take a ruler and measure it. Whatever that finished size is, that's the size bags you buy. Don't just buy 9 by 12 because you see me do it. Like, oh, 9 by 12 is the standard bag. No, they make bags of all sizes. This is just the size that fits my t-shirts. Can't stress that enough. There's been so many people that hit me up. They buy some t-shirt folder from I don't know where. Then they buy 9 by 12 bags. And then they find out that their t-shirt folder folds their shirts to 10 by 13 or 8 by 11. And they're like, yo, my t-shirts aren't fitting in these 9 by 12 bags. Why'd you tell me to buy 9 by 12? I'm like, I didn't tell you to buy anything. I'm just telling you what I bought. So before you buy bags, fold the t-shirt down, measure it, then buy the bags. Now, these 3 items right here are just helpful things to have if you own a heat press. First is gonna be VLR. This is vinyl letter remover. If you're doing a lot of HTV, this helps you remove the vinyl from the t-shirt. You squirt a little bit on the back of the shirt, on the back where the vinyl is, and it'll peel up. Some people say you could also remove DTF with this. I haven't tried that, but a lot of people say it works. So get some VLR, pretty easy, pretty basic, pretty simple to have. Next, Easy Off. This is oven cleaner, but this is good for cleaning the top of your heat press. If you've ever pressed something backwards, made a mistake, we all do it. Sometimes you press an image and then you forget to put a Teflon sheet down, and then you press the image again, and then that image is now burned to the top of your heat press. This right here will help you get it off. It's called Easy Off. Comes in a little toothpaste tube. All you do is heat the heat press up, squirt a little onto like an old t-shirt or a rag, squirt some on there, and then you just rub it down and then it'll clean it all off. This is made for ovens, so it works for your heat press also. Now, last thing, a lot of people don't talk about this, but it is 3-in-1 oil. Why do I use 3-in-1 oil? Sometimes your heat press is going to get squeaky, and all the joints that move, the shocks, whatever it is, this is an easy way to lube it all up. Squirt some into every little joint. Make sure you have a rag to clean up the excess. Work it in. Just keep going up and down with the press. If you ever heard your press squeaking, chances are these t-shirts create a lot of lint. That lint gets built up into those joints. This right here will break it down and lube your machine up. This isn't something that you do like every day before you press, but anytime I hear any of these heat presses squeaking, I'll take this, and every little joint that's on there that moves, I'll just put a little drop. Boom, 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 all over the place. Work it in until I hear no more squeaks. You can buy all of this on Amazon. You can buy it on Heat Press Nation also, but picking it up on Amazon might be easier for some. You can check the links in my bio. I've been trying to help people out with all this stuff by leaving links. People just don't want to click them because they think they're going to get sold something right away. It's basically just for the information. If you wanted to know more about a product, click the link. You don't have to buy through that link, but do some research and just look it up, see what it's all about. Something else people talk about is, what do I store my transfers in? I store them in the same Ziploc bags that Supacolor sends them in. There's their little sticker. This is what Supacolor sends their transfers in. I just zip them up with the little desiccant packets inside there, throw them into a drawer, and that's it. Done. Easy as that. I just keep them in Ziploc bags. I don't do nothing crazy. I keep them in the same bags that I buy the transfers in. If I cut them down, I just throw them in the same bag. That's all it is. One other thing that just makes sense to myself is this, a skinny trash can. It's a tall one, but it's skinny. Why does that make sense? Because when we're pressing here, we could throw this skinny trash can in between both heat presses and both use it. Boom, boom. If we had a big circle one, it would get in our way, but having a skinny one makes our lives that much easier. So that's why this makes sense in my shop. It might not make sense in your shop. You're like, why don't you just get a full size one? This makes sense here in my shop. And that's about it. If you want to see more, or if you have questions about something else in my shop, you guys always talk about these tables. You guys want to know about them. These are workbenches. This is a cutting mat. This holds up my heat presses. I guess the other thing is Teflon sheets. Teflon sheets I use to buffer out static. Most of the time you guys see me use them with these little refrigerator magnets. Why do I use this style of a magnet instead of like a flat one? Because if I want to remove it, I want to have like a little nub that I could just like pull off. So these ones are shaped like like a chess piece, like a pawn, but it's made for a refrigerator. You could buy this on Amazon. You could buy Teflon sheets on Amazon. I just buy a Teflon sheet bigger than the press. So this Teflon sheet might measure 16 by 24 maybe. And then I just attach it just like this, fold it up, put the magnets on, and you're good to go. I think I talked about everything here that you guys usually see. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. I know I make this video probably once a year, but there are new viewers that see the videos and have the same exact questions. So if you are one of these people, there it is. If you guys have questions, leave it in the comments for me. It's always easier to ask any question in the comments. I see it first, I see it fast, I respond quicker if it's in the comments. If it's in a DM or email or private message, I don't see it. I don't respond whatsoever. Especially if I don't follow you on social media, I'm never going to see that DM ever. But if I don't follow you and you leave a comment, I'll see it and I could respond to you. Simple as that. Also, what doesn't work is when people send me a DM and then in the comments they say, I sent you a DM. I'm not going to fish through every single DM that I get. I get a ton of them to look for yours. You almost wasted your shot because you should have just asked the question in that comment right there where you said, I sent you a DM. You should have just put the question that you had in that comment and I would have seen it and responded. And if you wanted to see me using any of this equipment, anything that I talked about, it'll be on Instagram, Big Brandoh TV. That's where you can see me doing my day-to-day inside this shop, or eating donuts, or riding bikes, or drinking beers. That's just where I'm putting everything that I'm doing is on Instagram. So check me out on there, Big Brandoh TV, if you wanted to. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.